Hi, and welcome to the latest edition from The Table. I have two judges, our head judge Davy Hanna and Rob Waterhouse with me, and I'm Vicky McCann. We're here at the Leatherhead Theatre in Leatherhead, a phenomenal venue with a great crowd as always, loads of noise, loads of atmosphere and some incredible competitors. We've just finished up our overall and it was won by Marcus Lee. David, do you want to talk us through how that went down?
Yep, it was a good overall, some really good competitors. Marcus kind of caught the eye from the pre-judging. When he's on it, he's really good. Big body parts, chunky body parts. He's still left a little bit to work on for the Britain, but I thought he was a worthy overall winner. Pushed by the junior, Josh was really good, a little bit sharper probably, and held his condition all day. But Marcus just a little bit too big for him in the overall.
Rob?
Yeah, definitely agree, to be honest. I think he almost felt sorry for the junior a little bit, not taking the overall. But, the thing is, we don't just judge on condition. I think the heaviness that Marcus had through the back and just in the side shots, a little bit more density is what really took it for him, to be honest. But as I said, I think the junior was absolutely fantastic. And to be even, like the heavyweight Scott was actually up there in the Scott Jezard, that was in the overall. And I think he'd, sort of comfortably beat him as well. So he's doing something right. So I think just, bring that level of condition for the finals, really. But yeah, good. And
best wheels as well, which is always, as we know, an honour that everybody appreciates getting, our best wheels competition. So well done to Marcus. Okay, so we started the show with our Masters class, and this was taken by Yanis Mikos. A standout, would you say, Davey?
Yeah, I mean, Yanis competed last week as well, I think. It's hard to say how much he improved from last week. Nice flashy upper body, still a bit soft in the legs, and that's what he really needs to work on. I don't know what his leg training is like, but he's very flashy from the upper half, but if he's going to do anything at the Britain, he's really going to have to work hard bringing that lower body in.
I think the Masters class suited him slightly better than the novice. I think he was in the right class this time. Yeah. The advice we gave him last week was his legs, and I also said I didn't know if he was posing them hard enough. Do you think he posed them harder this week?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did still, little minor things, have a little bit too much glaze on in pre-judging, which obviously then makes, weaker body parts look worse, if you like. But he's rock hard in the upper body. Great midsection, and that carries people off, especially in that class. But yeah, he still needs to be on the legs. He needs to pull back from his hips more. Definitely, he's kind of pushing his hips forwards and just tensing that upper body. So that can be worked on, but just more condition for the legs will, make him more balanced top to bottom. So yeah.
And second and third, how did that pan out?
Who we have second and third? I was quite close between Richard and Neil. I actually had them level pegging going through the pre-judging. Richard just that little bit sharper in the legs. Neil, I think in some poses just that little bit more heavily muscled. But definitely this evening, I think that Neil had gone backwards a little bit, and Richard had actually a little bit crisper, a little bit drier through the legs, and I think that really showed. So, Matthew looked decent as well. Just needs to be in better condition, and probably a little bit darker on the tan would help as well.
Yeah, I would have said Matthew, just condition-wise. He had a nice structure and a little bit of muscle. Not really fault there. But a nice class. So all in all, it was a good lineup of Masters. We went from our Masters to our over 50s class, which was taken by Glyn Bell, who I think was a standout on this occasion, with Mick Chapman coming in second. Do you want again to comment on that?
I spoke to Mick afterwards. I think Mick's got a nice shape. He was saying he'd lost quite a lot of weight to come in, to be on stage, and he was a bit soft from the back. His legs were actually pretty good from the front. I thought his quads were pretty good, probably the best in the lineup. But overall balance and the winner was just a little bit too dry for him and a little bit more balanced than him. But a good class.
And any comment on Glenn as a winner?
I think he just needs to keep pushing condition through it. You kind of see the same sort of Glenn each time. He's got enough muscle there, and he presents fairly well. But it's just a case of, unless he's really rock hard, he's going to struggle to do well at the finals. And I think they just almost see him the same every time. And I just want to see a little bit more. And if he can bring that, he'll actually, his proportions will look so much better. And as I said, he's got a nice shape to his body, so it's just a case.
I think a little bit more width in his back was what I noticed as well. He could do with that, just to help his balance. But
and nice to see David and Andy are over 60 and over 70, and both of them improving again. I mean, David Bryce in his 70s and still comes in condition, performs well, poses well, and seems to seems to be enjoying it more and more each time he does it as well. I think he's coming out to life a lot on stage.
For an over 70, his midsection's fantastic. So what can you say other than brilliant, good job. So.
The teen class was next up. And I actually thought that was a phenomenal teen lineup.
Yeah, all four.
I mean, all four really had a lot going on for teenagers. A bit scared dog posing for me when I was watching it during the day, which is when people tuck their glutes under to try and show striated glutes. Yeah. If you're in condition, you don't need to tuck under to show striated glutes. You see your condition anyway. And for me, that was the one thing I was watching thinking, oh no, please don't do that, because it made a lot of them look very long in the back. Yeah. But a lovely class. What was your thoughts on it?
So number 8 was the winner, if I believe. So he nearly missed it. He nearly missed the pre-judging, first of all. We went through everything around a quarter turns, and then he came back out for the second lot. And by that time, I had to change all my scores, because it's obviously when you put him in the mix. I think he leapfrogged a lot. I think he had probably the best structure of the lot. The only thing he was really missing was actually like a set of glutes. He sort of had hamstrings, but very flat from behind. And the other two, which was 3 and 4. Max and George, very similar physiques. I think that was a 9, which was George, just not quite as muscled and conditioned as the other guy, but a better shape. So I was really torn. I was like last minute putting my sheet in for them two to decide between them.
I was watching during the day. I was sitting down beside you guys, and to me, George from the back looked better and Max from the front looked better. So it was one of those difficult ones. Max was the one for me that was really scared dogging it from the back, which was giving George the advantage from the back. Which was throwing me in my thoughts, even though I didn't judge it. That was what I felt my thoughts were today. And Alex, I actually really liked him.
Even Alex in fourth is a nice shape to be going on with. I mean, these guys, they're so young, but I think there was a lot going on with all of the guys. They're all going to improve an awful lot. And it was a fairly close class. I mean, I had the winner winning it, but the other three all had bits and pieces like shape. They could all do with a bit more condition, but they're teens like.
And I think was it such a standard that they took all 4 to the Britain as well, and we don't do that. It's quite often that you can have people just 2 in the class and only take 1. So especially the 4th place guy should, if he brings more condition, he could probably beat all 3 of those. So there you go.
I think it was looking and seeing that he has something to offer at British finals, and I think Alec, if you're watching this, then we don't give these out lightly. So get yourself in condition and let's see what you've got, because I think that's what we're all looking for as judges, was to see what you actually had to offer. And next up was the Masters figure. Davey, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, that was Sarah.
Yeah,
the one that just a nicer balance. Sort of crisper, cleaner lines, and I had her winning that, not comfortably, but she just had too much. Sandra, is it in second?
Yeah,
Sandra in second. Probably a little bit more width and a little bit harder in the legs to be taking on Sarah. But Sarah, I think it was a good outing for her.
Definitely, agree. I think that she presents really well. Sarah does. She really plays to her strengths. She has some really nice sort of transition shots from the back. I thought were really nice, and routine was great as well. And so she just, I think we've said it before, but just kind of like a class act, really. So
you can see the experience that she's got.
I think what's nice about Sarah is she's classy. She does a T-walk. She does everything she does is classy on stage. She doesn't. There's nothing. Wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing irritating. But no, she's got a classy look. But to be fair, that's the best I've seen Sandra.
Yes, agreed.
I think that's the best I've seen Sandra. So next up was our juniors. That was another interesting and tough class. So again, talk us through it, Davey. Josh was the winner.
Josh was the winner. I mean, sorry, who was second?
George.
Quite similar in certain ways. I think at first when I was looking at George as well, some of his side shots he looked almost as good. Didn't have quite the same lines, quite as nice a taper as Josh, and I think that was what made the difference. But they were both in really good condition, and I think Alex, who was in third, he just came into a really tough junior class because his actually chest, abs were pretty good but far too soft in the legs to take on 2 juniors who had really good legs. He just got a bit unfortunate there. But, you know, he'll progress well.
Definitely. And only minor criticism, really, I guess, for George's side. He looked like he was a little bit bloated in prejudging. Looked a lot better tonight. Looked like maybe that sort of food had gone in or calmed down. It's a hard one because obviously when you're trying to push that food in to stay full, and as I said, the other guy was great, but it ruined some of his shots, like the front most muscular, you know, like crab most muscular, and hands together, clasp most muscular. But like that's things he can fix again and say in decent condition. So that's just a learning experience with things like qualifiers, which is easily fixed.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, George, you could see he had condition, but he was cloudy, and again, he was doing this scared dog thing, trying to show condition in his glutes, and his glutes weren't really through properly to be doing that anyway, and all he did was lose what shape he had by doing that. So tucking under, he was losing, you know, hamstring fullness and making his back look longer. If he, you know, a little bit, as you say, a little bit less bloating and just getting that pose right as well, and just not worrying about that.
He has the development through the glutes. He said so. There's no need to. If he
didn't need to do that.
You can see he's got the chunky muscle there.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's not benefiting in that pose from the back, and he's not got the widest back. So as I said, you have to almost do all you can with shape when
you almost look longer by doing that. So get rid of the scared dog pose, George, and whatever you're doing with your diet, just be a bit more careful because there's a little bit of bloating going on during the day, which did probably cost you. Whether you could have beaten Josh or not, we don't know, but it definitely didn't help. So if you can sort that out, that'd be great. And as you say, Alex, lovely presentation, really confident, you know, played to the crowd, which I thought was lovely. Excellent. So they seem to enjoy it. So well done, guys. Next up was the Miss Physique competitor. She was only one. What was your thoughts on her, Davey?
I thought upper body she was pretty good, she was confident on stage, good separation in her back, arms, shoulders, a little bit soft, you know, below the waist, and that's probably something she'll have to work on for the finals. But I thought she presented herself very well, and upper half was great.
That seems to be quite standard at the moment for the Miss Physique classes, aren't getting the condition they need in the lower half. We need to.
We've seen that before.
Girls, you really need to start thinking about getting the lower half in tight as well. It's good to have good size in the upper body, but you know the legs not being through isn't good enough to be British champion. So bring it.
And I think she'll be very good if she's in proper good condition. You know, she's got enough muscle there for sure. Nice and side shots. I quite like to sort of, it's her front double. She sort of puts her leg to the side, which usually I kind of hammer people on and think, well, just hit it properly, but it actually really suits her physique. So, keep doing with that and more condition and she'll do really well. So.
Yeah, and nice balance physique, which was good. I think next up was the novices, which was a real mixed bunch and a bit a tough one to judge. I thought, as I say, just even sitting looking at it, I thought it was quite a hard one.
Yeah, I think the top two guys.
18 and 17, Malcolm and Jareth.
Yeah, Jareth, like he could have done with more tan. He almost had cleaner lines, but you couldn't see them as well. And the winner, Malcolm, his tan was running off him, and it was really making it difficult at night, especially to see any separation. He probably had a slightly better balance and posed better, and for me that's what carried him over the line. But you know, as I say, again, we've seen it before, like just something like tan and practice your posing can take you on so much further, and I think Jareth in second, that could definitely have helped him a lot today.
I mean, I had obviously the winner himself, what's his name?
Malcolm.
I had him a clear first on the sheet, but then I had a three-way tie going in for the even round with the other three. I think it was second place, I'm 17, Jareth. He almost trying too hard to pose. Actually, he's got a great set of arms on him. He's got good legs, but it's sometimes just a little bit distorted by trying so hard to show condition. But actually, if he sort of just relaxed with a bit more poise, I guess is the right word, he would have flowed better and would have just looked better. But as I said, I think he just had too much muscle for the other two guys. And just a little comment on third, which was Simone. A really nice little structure. I think we've seen him last week as well. Presents quite well. I said just needs a bit more muscle, really. I think he presents really well. And the other lad, nice structure, high in symmetry, but just not enough heavy muscle to be competitive with the other top two guys in the novice, really.
Yep, I would agree on that. As I say, Jareth, I thought could have nipped it had he been able to show off what he had, because he had a lot of muscle. But as you say, his posing just was a bit weak.
Slap him down.
Next up was the Miss Athletic. Only two in this class, and quite a difficult one, I would say, to judge, because one, Kirsty probably had slightly better lines, but Alison was definitely the more conditioned. Was that a tough one?
Yeah, I thought, I mean, I had them level, I think, after the first 2 rounds. And again, it was because Kirsty had the better, far nicer shape, upper half. But the difference at night, especially in the athletic class, was just not quite hard enough, especially below the waist again. Alison actually had a really good sweep on her quads. Legs could be a little bit bigger, but both of them actually presented themselves very well. But for me, the difference, and it was tight, was just that little bit of condition.
Yeah, I felt watching it during the day that although Alison had great condition, she needs to bring a little bit more fullness.
Yeah.
She's got to watch it. She's not getting conditioned to the detriment of the fullness.
Yeah.
And that could have cost her it because Kirsty had a better shape. But, both good girls and both have got a lot to offer. I think if Kirsty comes in harder for the final and Alison comes in fuller, they're going to be very competitive at the final. So,
and you're right, I think it only did cost her. I think I was very tempted to go the other way around. And then I think you even said it yourself when you was doing the presenting, it was condition class.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, they'll have the better shape. I was like, I just can't give it you. But almost wanted to say, just that little bit of emptiness, you don't want to almost reward that. But on the same side, I think she had enough condition to carry her through. So,
I think we need to remember with athletic, it's not figure. Because, when somebody comes in and has got a slightly better figure, we brought in athletic because it was for girls that didn't have that natural X shape. It was for girls that couldn't really be competitive in figure or even physique. So it was about something that they could strive for, and that was the condition thing. So we have to then be aware of rewarding that and not rewarding what could be the better figure on the day. Yeah. The lightweight class. Now there was another. I mean, the BNBF this year, the lightweight classes have just been outstanding. That at the final is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Rob, what was your thoughts on that class?
Well, I didn't actually judge the class, but sat from the audience. I think one was clear cut. Which was obviously Marcus, obviously went to win the overall. But between that, I couldn't toss a coin for me. I think Archie was especially better tonight and better through the legs. He was number 2, wasn't he?
Yep.
Also Jordan, who was just out of the top 4. He had probably the better shape of all them guys, but not hard enough and big enough in the legs to probably carry him through. The other guys in between, I said, I toss a coin for me. I was just kind of I'm glad I'm not judging this class, if I'm honest. So.
I mean, I would agree. I didn't judge it either, but sitting looking today, when Jordan walked on, I thought, oh wow, he's really good. Yeah. But he faded because he didn't have the condition to be competitive with the other guys, and that became more apparent as the judging went on. And as you say, Archie, Lee, and even David, they all had different attributes. I mean, David's condition was probably...
His condition was...
Standout, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. He was quite dry. His lines were okay, but then standing next to somebody like Marcus, where you've not got quite those lines, and he looked small next to him. But, Marcus is a huge lightweight. Yeah. But, after the...
from the side as well.
He was, and he poses very well. He just, he shows his physique very well. But it was one of those, I had Marcus winning, but after the pre-judging, I had the other 4 guys level. It was that close. Everybody had something. And all 4 guys, it could have, as I was getting the sheets in and checking them over, I think the judges all had it slightly differently with the other 4 guys, and it was just the way it fell on the day. Yeah,
very much. Even looking at the scores in front of me now, you can see that there's not a clear cut. After first, there's not a clear cut that everybody's getting high scores off particular judges, and I think that was right because everybody had something.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the best I've seen Archie though.
Yeah.
He's usually just that little bit cloudy and a little bit off, and he was just that little bit sharp, especially tonight. When I see obviously the pictures in the lineup afterwards, I thought his quads are crisp, and he's never really had that. So, well done, good showing.
He must have. I didn't see tonight, obviously, because I'm at the side at the stage. But he looked today. I didn't think he was quite sharp. So he's obviously brought that through for the evening show, which has brought him up. And that's what happens, and that's why judging at night is so important because you see things during the day, and it gives people an opportunity to fight back and be rewarded for the effort they put in for their night performance. The heavyweights was another good class. Rob, thoughts on that?
Yeah, good. Good outing for Scott today, who took the win. I think just too much condition for Eric in number 2. I think Eric probably had that. He's got so much mass, but when it's not in condition, he's going to struggle to beat people like Scott, he was thereabouts today. I think hard in areas, hard in the shoulders, poses well. But just he needs more in the legs still. He's actually quite good from the sides. His glutes are starting to come through the side, but when he actually is on front on and from the back, he just needs more condition to actually carry that off. I mean, I know he's still fairly heavy, but he almost looks to me like he always should be a middleweight, even though he is a heavyweight because he's tall.
Yeah.
But he's kind of, as I said, like Eric in 2. I mean, he's got a lot more mass. He was just off to where it needed to be. Without rambling, and was it 3? Was it
Keeley?
Keeley, yeah. He was really good as well. Just more condition, not quite as nice shape as the other 2. And I think maybe some people in the audience maybe think, maybe he placed higher because he's a little bit sharper, but he just didn't have that shape and flow that Eric had. So.
I didn't think he posed well enough. He kept his hips forward, which was making his hips look wide. Yeah. If he could, little adjustments like just tucking your hips back and using your legs more would have probably given him a better place. He wasn't far away from Eric, but just not quite as balanced. And potential. I mean, that's his first show. I know that he's lost a lot of weight to get here. Yeah. So it'll be good to see him progress now. He's stepped on the ladder. Now it's, as we always say, time to climb and improve. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I agree 100%. Scott was just a bit too sharp for everybody else. Needs a bit more width, I think, as well. But his condition was good. And Eric in second, huge guy, really nice shape and lines, but just too soft on the day. Yeah.
And Paul's got a bit of work to do. I spoke to Paul at the end. He came and spoke to me, even though I wasn't judging, and I just said, it's a condition thing. But he was saying to me that he gets too out of shape in the off season and he's finding it hard to bring it back in. Yeah. So it's really learning the diet and learning how to do it. So again, nice to see him, and he seemed to have had a good time and enjoy it, which is the important thing. It's the important thing to do. And the last class up was obviously the figure class. Davey?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one, I'm not going to say her second name, is it?
I didn't either.
No. Very nice lines.
Morella.
Yeah, Morella. Really great structure, and I thought she won the class clearly. And I think second was Leah. Leah, a little bit heavy in the bottom half again, but still quite a nice shape overall, and a reasonably nice flow. Gemma in third was a little bit too light, but again, a decent shape. And in fourth was Anna. Anna was she just didn't have the lines for figure, I don't think. Yeah. I mean, she had a reasonably good condition.
Actually, Anna probably could have done athletic.
I think looking at her, that's what I thought.
I mean, and also the one thing I would say to Anna, and I mean, I don't mean this to be horrible, but her bikini top was huge. She's a tiny little girl. Yeah. Structure-wise, and she's got a bit of muscle, but when I was watching during the day, I felt like the whole top covered her whole upper body and made her look even more narrow than she actually was.
It didn't help her shape.
It really didn't help. It was just almost overdone.
Yeah, she's probably not got a natural width, but as you say, her condition was actually good, pretty decent again. And athletic, I think, would have been a good. Yeah,
and a smaller bikini top. Just something that wasn't so dominant, because you're a little girl, Anna. Structure-wise, I don't mean that muscle-wise. I mean that, and your frame size is small. That size of a bikini top it dominated your physique.
I think it was actually very close between her and Gemma. I believe. But as you said, I think sorry, who's in for Anna. Anna actually had more muscle, but just not as better shape. And same again, it's a shape class as the other one is condition class. I think that Anna will have to bring condition to compete in athletic, though, like more so. Rather than just like she just jumped in there today. I think she still would have been hard for her. She's got the muscle there. She'd say she needs to be tight. But I'd say that winner, I think, was exceptional today. Just posed really well. Presentation was nice. Looked confident on stage. So she'll do well at the Brent as well. Yeah.
A nice lineup though. All had something again. So a good show. All in all, it's hotting up to be some Britain, though. Yeah. I mean, realistically, the standards at all the shows, especially sort of the first and second in every class, I mean, if they all turn up at the Britain,
especially
I'm dreading judging that.
The juniors and the lightweights look as if they're going to be amazing. Like, those classes, I'm glad I'm not going to be judging.
Yeah.
It's like I was trying to explain. We've got a lot of clients who do lightweights, and it's like if you place in the top 5, you've really earned your stripes in that class. I think you could name 10 people off the top of my head who are exceptional bodybuilders, and it's like, well, who knows where the chips are going to fall? And it's. I think is that if you get in top 5, you need to be absolutely ecstatic with it, as opposed to feeling like, I didn't win.
As I say, it's going to be some British finals, and we've still got 2 qualifiers to go. Next up for us is the Midland show in Birmingham on the 25th of August. So hopefully we'll see some of you there. Thanks to an amazing audience. The staff here have been fantastic. Everything in the wheel worked well, smooth as always, and it's always tough when it's a new venue. So well done to the team, well done to the judges and the competitors, and see you in a few weeks in Birmingham.
Excellent.
Hope you enjoyed this, and tune in next time.